The great white shark hunter.
Good eye, mate.
Good eye.
Good eye. Welcome to Sofa Survivors.
It's another episode.
Another episode with your boys.
It's Super Survivors.
I'm Tom Sofa.
And I am Mike Tomato.
We are not Australian.
Not yet.
I'm sure you're pissed to hear that.
I'm going to get myself a nice fat Aussie.
And we're here to talk Sofa Survivors. We're here to talk.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Well, hold on. I'm over here talking into no mic.
You are talking into nothing.
I'm here to talk.
That's so embarrassing.
This is not the first time that I've talked into no mic.
So embarrassing. I'm
This
so
is
embarrassed.
probably about the 10th time I've done this. So, welcome to Sofa
Do you
Survivors.
even have 3 podcasts?
I literally am a host / co-host on 3 podcasts, and I cannot remember my own
Can't
mic.
even get their mic together.
I can't remember my own mic.
It's
But
brutal.
That's why I have a co-host to remind me about my
brutal.
mic, so that I have my mic. And his name happens to be Mike, so it's Mike and Mike.
Hi, that's me.
Yep.
I'm Mike.
So we're back. It's Sofa Survivors. I'm Tom Sofa. Mike Tomatoes over there. We're doing season 10, episode 7 of The Great White Shark Hunter. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it hard.
So hard.
And then
It's gonna say ow.
Yep. And we're gonna take a minor break in between the two so that we can talk about the next episode as well. So season 10, episode 7 and season 10, episode 8. We're going to start at 7, of course.
It's a double feature, baby.
Sure is. So we're going to go in chronological order as one does for these types of things.
Yeah.
And
As we do.
we got 2 tribes left.
2.
We got
Still 2.
Yep, we got Karor and
Oolong.
on Karor we have Kobe, Tom, Ian, Janu, Greg, Katie, Jennifer, and Karen. And Mike, who do we have on Oolong right now? 3 people.
Steph.
Yep.
Bobby John.
Yep.
Ibrahim. I forgot about Katie. Forget that she's even on the show.
Well, it's understandable to forget about Katie, but like Karen hates Katie, Kobe hates Katie. Like Katie's hated.
Yeah.
Amongst the people that like want to seem like they're doing.
But I feel
a
like
lot.
she's not getting a lot of screen time either.
She doesn't get a ton. She pops in, she pops out. The whole Karor don't get enough screen time.
Really not.
Aside from like Ian, Kobe, and
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah,
the
that's
3
really
of those
it.
guys get a ton.
The
and
girls don't.
Everybody else gets like I mean, Janu gets a little bit here and there.
Only when she's crying.
Unfortunate. Katie gets nothing. Greg gets minimal. Jennifer gets minimal.
Jen only gets it when Craig is around.
Yeah.
Literally it.
So fact. So we got people gone. Wanda's gone. Jonathan, Jolanda gone. Ashley gone. Jeff gone. Kim, Willard, Angie, and thank God James is gone.
Ugh.
He was just
Not it.
not it. I'm
Not
sorry.
it. He was never going to be it.
Didn't stand a chance to win. Doesn't deserve to be on the jury as far as I'm concerned.
I don't even think he deserved that either.
Don't think he's got a good question to ask, and I don't think that he would contribute
No.
well.
All TL shade. He'd be too busy trying to tie a toga.
Yeah, for real, low-key.
Facts are facts, America.
That's a fact. So we're back, and we start over here with Oolong.
We open in the cave.
Oh yeah, and they're down to 3, as we know.
8v3.
So
Crazy.
so unfair.
Crazy, because they have just been losers. Oolong stands for loser in Chinese.
Yeah, they must. It must. And Steph, she starts off as usual, just being embarrassed for losing.
All the time.
Constantly embarrassed to be a loser, and she has every right because
I would be too.
she performs well, and it's generally not her fault that she's a loser, but
It's a team game.
a loser's a loser, you know?
Right. No, it is. At least in the past 3 episodes, they've all lost because of somebody else.
Yeah, it's a guy
Yeah.
failing every time.
Either
pretty
it's
much.
James, Ibrahim, or
Bobby John,
or
yep,
somebody
or
else.
whoever it was before then.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Ibrahim, and Jesus fucking Christ, the dude looks chiseled.
Yeah, very
Like,
skin.
I mean, him, like, maybe it's the survivor diet that makes him look twice as cut, but I was like, oh my God. Like, is that AI? Is that...
He's very thin,
What-
but he's looking but his physique is very stereotypical man.
Yeah,
Like it's good. Looks good.
it's crazy.
Good stuff.
Couldn't believe it.
It's good TV. His legs are not as juicy as his upper body, but all good.
The
All
eyes
good
go straight
things.
to the upper body. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm not.
No,
I couldn't even tell you what his legs look like.
I pay
Honestly,
attention to a leg.
you know,
A
that's
leg
you.
is important.
There you go. Whatever. Then Steph, we kind of cut to Steph making it clear that, yo, Bobby John, me and you, homie, me and you,
Mm-hmm.
ride or die, ride or die.
Right. It's
You
me
know,
and you versus the world,
it,
baby.
and she's probably right to make that move.
I think Bobby John is a better competitor than Ibrahim.
Maybe I
At least, like, if my one thing to go off of is like the backpack carrying challenge,
yeah,
where Bobby John stepped up, Ibrahim didn't,
right. And I would say that Bobby John's more likely to like,
and he can swim better than Ibrahim.
yeah, I'd say Bobby John's just more likely to like talk about how he's feeling more honestly. I would say.
Sure.
I think that anytime that it cuts away to Bobby John, he's usually honest about how he's feeling. And if he's unsure, he says that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
makes it
Yeah.
clear. He doesn't, he really isn't like lying, deceiving. He's
No.
positive. Like, honestly, like
Yeah. His
he's
heart's on his sleeve kind of guy.
generally pretty solid, as morally speaking, generally.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
blame Steph for turning that way.
Neither do I.
I would say that Ibrahim, he talks more to the cameras than he does to his fellow teammates.
Yeah, and even then, like, I'm like just watching this episode, like he seems very like uninterested. Like
Mhm.
I'm getting a very like blasé, lackadaisical, like a whatever dude.
You think he feels like he's kind of Teflon after he got saved by Karor a
No,
couple
I
weeks
think
ago?
he's like resigned. I get more of like a resignation.
You think all the losses have just beaten him down?
Yeah, I think
and
he
just
knows.
accepts that
Yeah,
he's a loser.
I think he
possibly.
knows he's not going to win.
Okay.
I think that's the vibe that I was getting.
And you know what? Maybe he just knows that he's on the bottom of that tribe. Like he
True.
knows between he like maybe he actually feels that Steph and Bobby John are just closer, and he just feels that. But whatever. We'll dive deeper later.
Yeah.
We slide on over to Karor, and Ian brings out a massive clam. Finds this huge clam with like 5 to 6 pounds of clam meat in
Big
it.
clam.
That's nuts.
Big clam.
That's a lot of protein to sustain.
Well, there's 8 of them.
No,
you know?
I mean I understand that.
It's gotta happen.
Yeah, I mean that not only is that there are 8 of them, but like they also win almost every reward. They've been eating.
Oh, they're fine. They're literally
they've
on
been-
vacation, and that is just driving me nuts.
For real.
Because you see Oolong, like we cut to Oolong, they're all depressed and they're dying in the cave, and they're hacking shit up and they're struggling to eat their coconut. And then we cut to Karor, who's just like vibing in their perfectly built hut, and they have all this like extra food hanging around.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's happy, fat, and healthy, and I just hate it.
Totally. I'm gonna. There is a point. I don't know if it's this episode or the next one, where I definitely like write down a little bit about it.
I wrote it in the next episode, not
Sure.
for this one.
Okay, so that might be. We probably think similar when we're going through these at this point because we have similar. We're getting used to like a similar structure kind of thing. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. We'll see when we bring that up. But like that vibe is so clear, so transparent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So then Ian finds that insane clam, and which, like I said, had 5 or 6. Looks like I wrote down 6 or 7 pounds of meat. And then they see a motherfucking shark,
Yeah.
and Tom fucking kills a shark.
This is when but I'm so bummed that they didn't catch it on camera
Yeah,
because we don't see it. But maybe we probably shouldn't have because
they're not going to show it on
story
camera.
is he hacked the thing in half with a machete.
He just hacked at it, hit it once, and then like kind of jumped on it.
Yeah.
And grabbed it and brought it out.
Because so they're black tip reef sharks, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're smaller sharks. They're not very big. And what they'll do is they will like come up on the shoreline to catch the small fish that are hanging out around the shoreline. So they'll, swim up and then swim back out into the shore. And I guess Tom got really lucky with the timing of it
Can't believe it.
and killed himself a shark.
That's that's the type of thing that most people will never say that they've done.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
and I thought it was funny that like the dichotomy of like he's a New York City firefighter out here being a rugged boy killing sharks
Crazy.
in the bush of Fiji.
Yeah.
Well, Palau. We're not in Fiji. We're in Palau.
We're not in Fiji yet. And then, hold on. Watch your water, Mike. And
okay, Harry. That was
then
just a snot rocket.
Yeah, just put it to the side. Sorry about that, man. And then Ian pretty much feels like he's one-upped by Tom because Tom caught this shark, which is, understandable, but I don't know why Ian feels like he's got to compete with Tom in any way right now. Like they're not only on the same tribe, they're also in like a close alliance type of thing. I feel like he should just be like. And also, if there's 6 to 7 pounds of meat in that clam, I kind of feel like the clam is the better catch.
I think,
even though it's not as difficult, maybe.
I think they're just making that shit. Like they just said that for TV posterity.
Really? Because I mean, Ian said it.
Yeah, I know Ian said it.
But you think they were like, Ian,
say
this?
I think the producer goaded him into saying it. Where it's like, do you feel
one-upped?
Yeah, triggered that.
And he was like, I definitely feel one-upped.
And then Tom got the shark.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe he was goaded into that because at the end of the day, like it really doesn't matter,
right,
between the two of them.
And then I got a Kobe quote.
Oh
yeah, and it says, "Oh, now he's the great white shark killer."
Oh,
because Kobe's always talking shit about whoever's. Well, if somebody's not doing good enough, Kobe's talking shit. Yeah, if somebody's doing something good, he's talking shit.
He does throw shade. I think he throws shade in the next episode that I wrote down.
For sure, he's a shade thrower.
Oh yeah, he does.
He was rightfully casted for Survivor. Just totally. Honestly, yeah. Perfect candidate to be on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate his presence.
Then we get to the message in the bottle.
Tyra
mail. Tree mail. This is something that I feel like they did this in the first season, right? Building I feel like that they kind of fall off of doing this long term as a challenge type of thing. This isn't something that happens in the recent seasons.
I feel like this is like a classic
at all, which is why I like when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, they're doing this again. I haven't seen this in forever.
Yeah.
Huh. So I was kind of surprised to see them redo it, but also not at the same. Like I had mixed feelings about it.
Yeah,
really did. And naturally, it's got to be a 3v3. Whoever builds the best signal. Oolong, they decide to use their bathroom and like their previous bathroom that they made to create the fire or the signal. I mean, and on Karor, they choose Greg, Karen, and Katie for this challenge.
Yes.
So everybody kind of has to sit idly by. And then Jeff and Bob is his name.
Bob the Drop Master.
The Drop Master. They get to do the flyover. And it's not really that exciting to talk about the process of them making the signal.
No, it's the bamboo and dry bush.
That's it.
That's all it is.
Not too exciting, but what was kind of funny was, in my opinion, was watching Bobby John just flail about, thinking that he's gonna get bonus points and like him screaming and jumping into the water.
Like, you're stupid.
That is not gonna get you the extra 2 to 3 points that you think you might need to get. But hey, bonus points for positivity, I guess. Maybe, if you're trying to vibe on the positive train,
right? Maybe channel that energy into building a bigger signal, but that's just me. It's just one man's opinion.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of silly. And basically, they both make fine signals, one of which is closer to the water than the other.
Pretty much.
And that's the difference. Karor tries to have some sort of fire signal that they let off, but it ends up failing. But they didn't even need it.
Didn't need it.
Literally didn't even need it. So
won.
They still won. They got the care package dropped for them, which had 3 bottles of wine, had some military foods, and it had some fishing equipment in it. Like, does Karor need anything else?
Nope. But they got it. Just keep that vacationing.
And then I got a Bobby John quote.
Okay.
To follow, which was, "We worked hard on it. My guess is they worked smarter."
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of a
Yeah.
bland quote, but I feel like that's well put. I feel like Bobby John is considering that maybe working smarter over harder is probably a good idea once in a while.
Yeah. If I think that maybe is the difference on why they keep losing,
Yeah.
because
So
they're not working very smart. And clearly, this team is not good with puzzles.
no, they're not. They really aren't. Um. Then they have there's like a big Greg and Jennifer stir
Yeah, this
that
is
happens when they go back to Karor camp.
yeah.
Finally, some drama.
So I had wrote it was like Greg and Jen, trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
Jen is possibly looking for love. She's like, not only am I having an ally out of this, but it's just like, I think there's more.
Yeah.
There could be more. And then Greg's just like, nah, dog. I'm just here for this pussy and some points.
I feel like, I mean, maybe
I got
mean,
full bro energy.
you're seeing
from
it different
him.
than I am. I feel like Greg's sitting there and he's like, I have an actual chance of winning the $1 million.
Okay.
That's how I literally feel like he's like, I'm gonna get sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked.
Oh, okay.
I like
his
I
romance is too distracting.
and on top of that, I think that at this point, so you're familiar with the character Boston Rob. You don't know much about him, but you've heard of him.
I've heard the name.
Okay. He literally met his wife on Survivor.
Oh, that's cute.
Proposed to her. She won the $1 million. He proposed to her.
On the show?
I think on the finale.
That's crazy. Like they met on the show.
Oh my god.
So then they got married after like a month of meeting on.
Hey man. You Boston Rob's the man.
All right. Okay. Okay, Boston.
So I think that happened prior to this, and perhaps in other seasons prior also there was like other bits of showmance, and I think that Greg probably fell into it and is thinking to himself, I better get myself out of this before this bites me, because everybody is fucking seeing it and everybody else is talking about it. You cut to like Greg and Jennifer are having this little stir, and then it's cutting to Kobe, and then it's cutting to Tom, and then it's cutting to E, and everybody's just like, yeah, I see it. Can't not see it.
Well, right.
Is that something that I'm thinking about? Sure.
Yeah, they're all over each other
exactly
at the tribe. So
needless to say, Greg is, unless he's found love, which doesn't sound like he has.
I didn't get that impression.
He's got his eye on the prize, and you know what? If maybe Jennifer should consider that she could also still win $1 million.
Maybe they could split it.
Go halvesies. Yeah. I'd go halvesies on $1 million with any of them.
Easy.
Sure.
Easy. $500,000. You kidding me?
Yeah, I'm down. Sign me up. Tom starts to get concerned, like I said, the affair. And then it cuts back to Oolong, and Bobby John like catches a fish
and a clam,
and he gets himself a clam.
Gets himself a giant clam, just like Ian.
And it's nice to see Oolong get a small victory.
Yeah, they needed something, man.
Some sort of something, because they might have starved out there had they not gotten a little something.
I honestly think production probably feels sorry for them. It was just like,
here's a clam.
There's clams like right over there. Just go get one.
Go grab a clam.
They probably like watched Ian, and then they're just like, go over there. Go get a clam.
Put a fish on a skewer. Put this in the water. Pull it out.
Honestly,
yeah, could have happened.
Because I feel so bad for them. It really is such a night and day experience for these two tribes. Yeah. Where Oolong, nothing can go right. Everything is chaos and hell. And then you get Karor, who's just like, what am I going to do on vacation today?
For real. And I kind of feel like after this season, that's when they're like force merge when the time is right.
Okay.
I really do.
Because I feel like we should have had a merge by now.
We should have.
This like 3v8 bullshit is really,
it's not fun.
Limiting.
Not that fun. Let's see. What do I have here? Oh, tree mail comes, and it gives them the clue that there's a slide puzzle coming, and they get to practice.
Yeah.
Slide puzzles are huge in Survivor.
Really?
Huge.
Okay.
One season that I cannot wait to watch with you. And this guy is on. He's gonna be on season 50.
Okay.
He was on I think his name's Christian, and he was on Brains versus Brawn or whatever season, and he was the Brains, and he finished the slide puzzle faster than anybody. Like they're like, our production team can't even finish a slide puzzle that fast. Like
Oh,
the
wow.
guys who like said, he goes, I took a class on this at this school or whatever. Like literally just brains.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
dude's a puzzle freak. It was so insane. Like I'm getting goosebumps kind of just thinking
Love
about
it.
it. It's a cool moment. On
Love a
Survivor.
puzzle freak.
Super cool on Survivor. So, they have immunity common. There's callers and there's movers.
Yep.
And Bobby John decides to be the caller. So stupid.
So fucking stupid.
And Kobe is the caller, and then they have Janu and Katie as the movers, and Ibrahim and Steph as the movers, naturally. And Bobby John is struggling as the caller.
The dude is so dumb.
Terrible caller.
He's so stupid.
He is a workhorse. Why is he trying to not be a workhorse?
It makes no sense to me. I literally when they said that Bobby John was going to be the caller, I was like, they lost.
They lost.
They lost immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. And then like as they're filming the challenge, you just see it on his face where he's just like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
He's got that I got that dumb face.
He does.
Yeah.
He's got a dumb face.
It happens. I got it too.
I'm
It's a
born
thing.
with it.
So Karor gets ahead early. Janu unfortunately is struggling.
Dying.
Girl can't hold her breath.
It's never like moving a floating tile has never been so hard.
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't know. I think she's just being dramatic.
And no disrespect, I do feel like she only has to do half of the challenges for the last like
literally
week and a half.
Literally, I think she's just being dramatic. I think she just
Whatever.
doesn't want to be there anymore.
Whatever. And then Oolong gets the brilliant idea to get Bobby John off collar. Finally.
Meanwhile,
Steph
Karor is
steps
more
up.
than halfway done.
Yep. And Karor wins their 6th straight immunity.
Yep.
Brutal.
All because Bobby John sucked and the gays know how to solve a puzzle.
Yeah. And then they kind of just go through this silly, I guess, silly threesome of communication is the only way that I can say it.
You're right.
Where, Ibrahim's coming to Bobby John and being like, yo, me and you. And Steph's coming to Bobby John and being like, yo, me and you. And then Steph turns to Ibrahim and like, if he's not being clear with us, maybe we should be clear with each other. Which honestly might have been a great twist.
It could have been.
Could have been a great twist.
It could have been.
Whatever. But I personally gave, I don't know, brownie points, a little bit of merit to Steph for being straight with Bobby John and like trying to like have a strict, I kind of got you type of thing. And then once she read the room that he wasn't going to like clearly commit, she said, okay, let me try with Ibrahim. And the fact that Ibrahim didn't tell himself I could stay another day this way is beyond me.
See, that's when
that goes to what you said earlier, which was like he's checked out. He's kind of done with his shtick. He's got to be. Otherwise, he would have gone the other way.
Honestly, and if I was in Oolong's situation and I have just kept losing before the merger, I haven't had a fresh pair of clothes, a shower, or like a real meal in, I think we're on day 18 or 19.
We are.
Or on day 17.
Yeah.
I would lose it. I would say, fuck this. I'm going home.
Really?
I've done it. I've done Survivor and I'm good.
Even if you get paid per day that you stay?
Depends how much I guess.
Because you do.
Paid.
You get paid the longer you
If I'm
stay.
getting paid like an extra $200, not worth it. If I'm getting paid an extra $2,000, maybe.
What if it's 1,000?
See what my food situation is first.
Okay. But like diet though, like you're just like on a forced diet. Like I could find the positivity in that.
In being hungry?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like think about how skinny I'd be.
So skinny.
Oh my God.
There's never been a skinnier
Oh my God.
you.
I would love. Have I brought this up to you before? I would love to hear. Not love. I guess guilty pleasure kind of thing. I want to hear about the players that like go on Survivor. I want to hear both sides, I guess. The players that go on Survivor, and then after they leave, I want to know who goes back and gets fat,
All of
and I
them.
want to know who goes back and like is like, this is my new way of life. Is
Right.
being
I've
like
changed my
thin,
motive.
skinny, more in shape type of thing. I really do want to know because
I imagine that they all binge.
You think they all get fat as fuck?
Maybe not all fat as fuck, but
No
as soon
way.
as they come back to the states of their life, they all just binge.
Yeah, they get a burger and this and that.
Yeah.
They do the bits, but like, I want to know who can't stop.
I don't know. Has there ever been a person that's on Survivor and then also been on The Biggest Loser?
I don't believe so. Oh my gosh, there is though. I saw this clip on TikTok, and I kind of forgot about it until I saw it. There is this older Hispanic, middle-aged Hispanic guy, heavier set on a season
Of Survivor?
of Survivor, and he is like, he's annoying. He's not pulling his weight. He's gonna go.
Literally and
He's
figuratively.
gonna fucking go, and he knows he's gonna go. And he is sitting there at Tribal, and Jeff is like, "Do you feel like that you might go home, this or that?" And he's just kind of like, or like, "How have you changed, whatever?" And just kind of like all these basic questions that Jeff asks on Survivor, and he goes, "I found the love of my life on Survivor. It's unbelievable. Like I never thought I'd find this. I found it's bigger than $1 million."
Food.
No, he literally thought that another woman in Survivor had mouthed the words "I love you" to him. And he took that and like literally thought that he found his soulmate without any action. Oh my god. I don't know how I'm going to find the clip or whatever.
What?
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's out of pocket. But he literally like is sitting there in front of Jeff at Tribal, and he's like, "I saw Jennifer mouth the words "I love you" to me, and so I found my soulmate." And like,
What the fuck? Is he okay?
and then he gets voted off, and then he's gone, and you never see him again.
Right.
No, seriously, like that's literally like it's ridiculous.
Is something like loose up top? Like, is
I don't know
he
if I doubt they did the psych evaluation on him. I'm not sure.
a little bit of, I don't know, like
I don't know.
he maybe ate a little too much of that cactus or something?
No, I mean maybe I don't want to get too far into it or anything. I'm just saying it was.
Maybe some like weird mushrooms off coconuts?
No, we don't need. I don't know. All I'm
Because that's crazy.
dude. I'm telling you, I'm gonna find the clip and show it to you and send it to you later.
I found the love of my life.
I'm gonna
because
show you. I swear.
It's also kind of sad.
Oh, it is. It's intense.
Like
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to process.
Aw.
I know it is. But I'm gonna send it to you later. So needless to say, they're doing the 3-person split thing. Who's gonna go with who type of thing. Tribal comes, and Jeff has a raspy voice at Tribal,
Yeah.
which is fun. Doesn't
He's-
happen often.
He's sick. Too much. Maybe it was too much fun with Bob
shouting down on the plane.
up in the plane.
Could have been. Could have been. Steph says that she is tired of losing for like the billionth time.
Yep.
And Bobby John admits that he should not have been the caller.
Right.
No shit, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, literally.
It only took you 30 minutes in the middle of the challenge to figure that out.
And Bobby John, which I thought was such a weird thing for him to say at Tribal, he says that he would vote, like Jeff kind of provoked him to give a reason why he'd vote Steph out. And he was just like, because she's a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a fair thing to say. And I know that she probably took that as a compliment. But I don't know how she didn't write his name down. I don't know how, like her and Ibrahim, like, I don't know. I just feel like the want to win is so behind this tribe. Like they can't even see the possibility of winning. At least Ibrahim, maybe.
Sure.
So I don't know.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume.
My mind would just wander the other way. That's the only thing.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume that like nobody on Oolong is going to win, clearly, because they're losing constantly, and then when they get to the merge, it's just going to be like a Karor bloodbath. They're just going to get rid of all the Oolong first anyway.
Yeah.
And then So like what really happens at this point in the game, this is when I guess I'm getting a little frustrated with Karor having rainbows and sunshine all the time, because it's just now it's I'm just waiting for the inevitable bloodbath to
Right.
happen with Karor, and I need to get through these 2-3 episodes for that to
Yeah.
happen. So I'm just like waiting for that moment.
It's gonna get good though. So
Yeah, I know.
it's about to, I mean, I don't remember. I have no idea how.
I know
how
the
it's gonna go.
bloodbath is coming,
But it's got to get good once it splits, right?
it has to.
Because I mean, it's still decent right now, but just like with the numbers and stuff, it's not as enjoyable as it could be.
No, and I think that speaks to because like the challenges are so limited.
Right.
You know,
Can't have that many people.
you can't
in
have
it.
that many people involved.
Yeah.
You can't do so many because you can't do so many things because so many little people are involved. So I think they should have done the merger earlier, but
Agreed.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep saying that till the cows come home on this one.
Yeah, fortunately.
Yeah, and then Ibrahim, he just says that he should stay because he's loyal,
Right.
which I thought was like cool, bud.
He just said
Cool.
it to say it. Yeah.
Cool, bud.
Cool stuff, dude.
Needless to say, Ibrahim got 2 votes, Steph got 1, and I just wrote, "Bye, bud. See you later, Ibrahim."
Yep, Ibrahim's gone.
There he goes, and I think it was meant to be. It's his time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So.
I think we all saw that.
See
The writing on the wall. Karor was not here to save him that time.
Oh yeah. So we're just gonna take a little, if you want to unplug, pause, get yourself ready for the next episode.
Maybe stand up, fix your posture.
Grab a cup of coffee, drink some water.
Have you stretched today?
Have you? Because I haven't, and I'm due.
And I think you want to stretch today.
Okay. Now that you've taken all the time to do whatever you want to do, we are back, and we are talking season 10, episode 8 of Survivor, and it is called Mike. What?
The Neanderthal Man.
Correctamundo.
Which I don't necessarily get that title, but so be it.
Yeah, I mean, I only watched the episode yesterday, and I don't fully remember everything that happened in it, but I got all the notes. So as we go through it, maybe I'll have a note that'll make me think of why it's called Neanderthal Man, but I also don't have an answer for you off the top of my head.
Don't know.
So as if you've come this far into the podcast, you probably know who's left and who's not left, but we got Karor, we got Karen, Tom, Ian, Kobe, Greg, Janu, Katie, and Jennifer. Nothing's changed over there. And in Oolong, we got dynamic duo Mike, who?
Steph and Bobby John.
You love Bobby John.
BBJ, baby. BBJ. BBJ.
We got 10 players left. Willard's gone. James is gone. Angie's gone. Ibrahim's gone. Kim, Jeff, Ashley, Jonathan, Jolanda, Wanda. They're all gone. It's over for them.
Good.
Go home.
I needed them off my screen.
As usual, we start with Oolong because they're the ones who have shit going on that's worth seeing for now, I guess.
They do got a lot of shit going on. Back in the cave. Back in the cave with Oolong.
Back in the fucking cave. Bobby John explains that he chose Steph because she's performed better in challenges.
Period. The end.
I think that's a reasonable choice to make. But not if you want to beat the person you're next to, I guess. It's like he's thinking, I want to win the next challenge when he should be thinking, I want to stay 3 days rather than just, I don't know. My opinion.
No, I get what you're saying.
But I understand why he kept Steph as well.
Yeah, it seems a little short-sighted to just be like focus on like the next challenge instead of the show.
Right.
Like I want to win the show.
Right. But on paper, I do understand it, and I feel like if I was
Bobby John, I probably would have done the same thing.
If I was on an island without production showing me the bits and pieces around it, I would for sure go Steph, no doubt.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all they give us with Oolong, and then they bring us over to Karor, and this right here is where I talk about the chill life of Karor. Is this where you got it written down?
Yep.
Go ahead. What do you got?
I said Karor is still on vacation, and it's annoying. They are surrounded by rats because nobody can clean up their shit. Colby is pissed, and I need them to struggle.
Okay. Here's what I put, and I agree with all that. I think that's all perfect. I think I wrote Karor life is so chill without the merge. Half of them don't have to do challenges, yet they still get the rewards. And I just said rats are a problem at Karor.
I also wrote for Colby, the girls do nothing, and he has had it.
He has had it with that shit. And I also mentioned how Tom saved like the shark skull thing,
Yeah.
which had flies all over it. Ugh.
And like strung it up on a tree that's like right next to where they sleep. Like, you're nasty, dog. You're nasty.
Yeah. And I wrote, Kobe wants to push the girls that are being lazy into the fire.
Yes.
Those are his exact like what he
does.
said.
Yeah, he wants to commit violence.
Ridiculous of Kobe, but whatever. We slide on into a food challenge.
This was so gross.
Brutal
I
challenge.
hated this.
Brutal.
I did fast forward.
Did you really?
'Cause after I watched them like the second round, I couldn't continue. And then at the final, I said no, just tell me who wins.
You're a freak.
It's nasty.
It is, yeah. It's a fertilized egg that they gotta have.
It's a duck fetus.
Yeah.
They're eating duck feti. It's
Yeah.
it's an underdeveloped duck fetus.
Yeah, it's gross.
With a beak and everything.
It's gross. It's gross.
And they have to eat it. It's a delicacy. It's called balut or some shit. And
yeah, balut. I got it right here.
Yeah, and I just thought that was so gross.
Well, the reward is some like cleanliness supplies.
Yeah, you get a shower.
You get soap. You get 55 gallons of fresh water. Could you imagine if Oolong just got 55 gallons of fresh water? Yeah, but what do they? They're gonna use 2 gallons, and then just like have that
drinking water.
Yeah, but like,
and they can shower as much as they wanted.
Yeah, but they're whatever. If like just like if they win, imagine they win the challenge, this food challenge or this reward challenge. Excuse me, and then they lose immunity, and whoever gets left at the end of this episode is left with just like nothing but 53 gallons of fresh water.
Not a bad send off, I guess.
Except they're about to merge in the next episode.
Right.
And then what?
You don't get your water? I don't know.
Or everybody else gets it? You got to share it with the whole tribe that you beat out, that you've lost to for the last...
Maybe they'd let them keep it.
It's a lot. I don't know.
I think that's a dumb reward, personally. The cleaning stuff, maybe whatever. Like,
sure,
I can understand like certain cosmetic products.
The cleaning stuff that comes back in other episodes, all the time.
Like, I can see like the toiletries being a valuable thing, but like, I don't know. Do you really need like Dawn dish soap? No, but
somebody's got to sponsor it.
But toothpaste would be nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Tom and Ian, and they're going up against Bobby, John, and Steph.
Yep.
Which I kind of thought was ridiculous, personally.
In what way?
I'll tell you in what way. Tom and Ian then cannot perform an immunity. And aren't they probably the better immunity?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
People.
So because Tom and Ian participated in the reward challenge, they can't participate in the immunity challenge.
Right.
Is that true?
I think so. Like if we were to skip forward to the immunity, it's Kobe and Greg going up against Bobby, John, and Steph in the later immunity.
I don't know.
So yeah, no, I mean that's how it works. So if you sat out in the previous challenge, whether it's reward or not, then you have to participate in the next one.
It was Greg, Katie, and Karen
whatever
that did the signal.
Yep.
And then in the main challenge, it was
for sure. I know this is how it works. Go ahead and check, but
whatever. I believe you.
Yeah, no, it is. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. I really thought that Ian and Tom, like the two heavy hitters, why are both of them doing this when they eat? Like, in my opinion, one of them should be doing the reward or the immunity challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they really just love the idea of eating a duck fetus.
Don't think so. Needless to say, Tom goes up against Steph, and they both eat it.
Yeah.
And then Ian goes up against Bobby John, and they both eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tom goes up against Steph, and then they both eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ian and Bobby John go up against each other, and they both eat it. Why did we do this challenge? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense.
Just to gross me out.
So then they push it to the overtime, where we see Tom and Bobby John once again going toe to toe, the boys, and they got to eat 5 of these motherfuckers.
And be the first to finish.
First to finish wins, and Bobby John shoves it all in like an idiot.
Because he's so stupid.
He's so stupid.
He's so fucking dumb.
And Tom wins, and I just wrote how disgusting and gross that it was, and how
Watching Bobby John try and eat those 5 duck fetuses,
it was a no.
was fucking nasty.
That's what we call major ick alert.
Literally, the scene where he's like trying to literally like push his cheeks closed so it gets shoved down his throat.
So bad.
So disgusting.
So bad.
So fucking gross. Like, this isn't Fear Factor. This is Survivor.
Yeah.
Do something else.
But Fear Factor was going on at the same time, so they're just kind of like
piggybacking off each other. I don't know. Do something else. Do my eyebrows.
So yeah, so Karor wins. And Karor decides to then save the fresh water to drink and not shower with.
Right. But did you see that they were getting a little pissy about it because some of the people wanted to shower, but Tom was making an executive decision, says, no, this is drinking water.
Precisely what I wrote. I said, Tom's decision. Jen really wants to shower, but keeps her mouth shut because she,
Yeah. Yep,
so that's tough stuff. And I will say,
I agree with Tom, honestly, on this one.
You think save the fresh water?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, that's a lot of gallons.
Yeah.
55 gallons?
Think about how hydrated you could stay.
You're going to drown.
Very important.
You're going to drown.
I don't care.
55 gallons. That's crazy.
That is
of fresh. There's all kinds of other water around.
Yeah, but if one person, so there's 8 people on that tribe, right? And generally you're supposed to consume about a gallon of fresh water a day to be healthy.
No, that is not what's happening out there.
I understand that.
Okay.
But now that they could make that happen with their 55 gallons of fresh water for at least 5 days.
There's too many.
Not longer.
There's no time to drink that much water out there for them.
You never know.
I do know. I'm telling you.
I don't know how much time they have.
Well, they got time, I guess. But I don't know. I really, because every day, somebody's going home anyway.
Yeah. But then what's the point of showering if you're just going to get dirty again anyway?
Reset.
I don't know.
Actual reset.
I kind of agree with Tom on this one.
I kind of do, but I just want to argue just to argue. So yeah, and then Bobby John, we get over back to Oolong, and Bobby John, he's tired of losing to Tom.
Yeah, his ego's hurt. He's throwing a bit of a tantrum, and Steph is like, "Boy, get your sticks away from my face."
For real. And Steph's like, yeah, she thinks Bobby John's been holding in all this rage, and because he's been too positive, which is a fair thing to say.
I get that.
Yeah, I also agree, but you gotta stay positive out there.
This is also
drive yourself crazy.
When I wrote my notes, was like, I am just waiting for the Karor bloodbath.
Yeah,
waiting.
That'll be so good.
Like, I want them to yell at each other. I want like a how could you?
And then I thought it was kind of interesting. Maybe I misheard it, and I didn't take the time to go back and hear exactly what they were saying. But we slip on back to Karor, and Tom and Ian are talking strategy, and Tom talks about Kim with strategy, and Kim or he starts talking about Steph and Katie in his strategy, which I thought was kind of bizarre. Did you catch that? Am I wrong saying that?
So Ian, Tom, Steph, and Katie?
Ian and Tom were talking about Steph and Katie in having votes.
Yeah.
I did not fully understand how Tom and Ian were thinking about Steph's vote.
I don't know. So this is what I like. Generally,
maybe they're thinking merge long term, and Steph's on their side somehow.
And how the breakdown of like the alliances seem to go, where it's going to be Ian, Katie, Tom, Karen? Question mark.
Ian, Katie, Tom, Karen. Yeah, because it's
Kobe,
Janu, Greg, and Jennifer.
Yeah.
So it's like 4v4 on Karor, and maybe Karor's thinking that they're gonna they
can swing it with Steph.
Or I don't know. I just thought it was bizarre that they were thinking that long term.
Yeah, and the fact they assumed like Steph was gonna make the merge and Bobby John wasn't.
Maybe. I just thought it was strange.
Yeah.
They didn't bring up Bobby John at all. And I love that Steph said that Bobby John was turning into a caveman because he sure as shit looked like he was.
Yeah, and he's gross. He's nasty. He eats crab shells. He shoots snot rockets where they sleep. And then I wrote Southern Charm question mark. And then the next scene it's like Steph crying because she's just so broken down.
Right.
Which, like, girl, I would be too.
For sure.
I would be crying every minute if I was experiencing the same thing you were.
Literally. So then we get to the immunity.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lit.
Love it.
And you have to swim out to 4 bags that have puzzle pieces. Then you have to put together the puzzle pieces and then circle, which have words on them. Then you have to circle the words of the to like solve another phrase or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really explain the part of the like matching the words to like find the secret word.
They didn't.
They didn't really explain that. So
whatever.
It happened how it happened.
Exactly. And we had Kobe and Greg go up against Bobby John and Steph.
Yep.
And I mean, not to be like the sexist person or not to say anything, I kind of feel like that Jeff should have been like, has to be a guy and a girl going up against Bobby John and Steph.
Yeah.
I
get that.
I don't know. I don't know. I really, because let's just say
maybe Jeff saw Colby as the girl equivalent.
I just think that he just said and any two that you want because how big that it is. Because I mean, the last challenge was Greg and Ian or Tom and Ian.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess I don't know, but I do think that if Bobby John and Steph went up against either Kobe and any woman on Karor or Greg and any woman on Karor, I think Oolong would have won.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm going to say no still.
Well,
because
they suck at puzzles.
Fuck.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because they suck at puzzles.
Yeah, they suck at puzzles. All right, there you go. So I'm just going to kind of run through the challenge, kind of what happens. And what I wrote in the top corner before this challenge even started was Bobby John. He gets an opportunity to not go against Tom and win.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Still loses.
Blows it. Blows it hard.
Oolong holds a lead at the beginning of this challenge. They get ahead with 3 bags. Bobby John, he heads out to get the final bag, but I wrote that there was just still too much challenge left, in my opinion, for them to for it to matter that they have a lead.
Correct.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And then Karor takes the lead by solving the word puzzle faster. No surprise. And they start circling the words to figure that out. Steph looks over at Karor's words to try to catch up.
A little cheating.
It's not cheating.
Strategic.
And I only say that because there was literally a thing that you could pull down to cover it.
Right.
So it was set up to where if you're smart enough to pull the thing down,
which they ended up doing
after they started.
After Jeff calls it
said
out.
There she's looking, which is fine. It's legal. Then
Jeff shouldn't have said anything. Jeff should have just let it happen.
It's his job to call it out.
Just saying.
But I kind of disagree. And Karor wins.
Yep.
I wrote down victory at sea. I don't know exactly why.
That was the phrase. That was the winning phrase.
There you go. That's why I wrote that down. Makes sense now. Victory at sea. Bada bing, bada boom.
I didn't write that down, but I just remembered.
Well, that's why we're good co-hosts.
Exactly.
Truly.
Exactly.
So we got that going for us. Then it comes back to the Karor camp. Karor's happy that everyone there is going to make the jury, which I think is an unbelievable thing.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable thing.
Yeah, that is crazy. A whole tribe of the same jury, like a whole jury of the same tribe.
Yeah. Kobe then talks about how good it feels to be on a winning team.
He does.
And be a part of a team, being
and then he gets
accepted.
Emotional.
Yeah, which is nice to see.
He gets gay and emotional because he was a bullied boy.
Well,
which relatable content.
Now he's a bully.
We've all been there, and now he's the bully.
Isn't that funny?
Live long enough to see yourself become the bully.
Full circle.
Yeah. See, gays, we get bullied, and then we become the bully,
Bada bing.
and we get really good at it.
Then I got a nice. Then it goes back to Oolong. I got a nice little easy, simple, basic Steph quote. We had a great lead. We just lost because we suck at puzzles. Good job, Steph.
Yeah.
Way to know yourself.
Wait, for real. A little
You
too
know?
late, but as long as you know.
And then it comes over to immunity, which is an individual immunity.
I like these like head-to-head immunity challenges. I think that could be fun.
So the best part about this here, this fire making challenge that they have, this becomes a Survivor staple.
Okay.
It does. Nowadays, it comes down to the final 4 players or 3 players. And depending on if it's 4 or 3, either way, whoever wins the final immunity gets to pick the 2 players, which 2, like there's 4. So that whoever wins, he gets to pick of the 3, which 2 players are going to go up against each other in a fire making contest.
Okay.
And whoever wins that gets to go to the finals and gets to plead to the jury. And there's like a whole thing of like you add the winning fire making to your resume, and then you can use that as like a talking point.
Okay.
And it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Your resume.
Yeah, your Survivor resume of winning
Yeah.
to the jury.
Right. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it goes deep. Needless to say.
The only thing I wish that was different about this fire making challenge, I wish the like what do you call it? Their torch? I wish it was just higher up.
So in this case, it's a torch, but in now seasons and previous seasons, it's a line.
You got to burn the rope.
You got to burn the rope, and they give you very specific stuff that it's like pretty difficult. Use a flint. It's like actually cool.
Yeah, I wish it was also a little bit more challenging in the sense they give them matches.
Yeah.
Like I wish that was a flint.
Yeah,
or something.
This
a
is
little bit
just
more.
early stages of Survivor, unfortunately. But fact, I agree. I got a Jeff Probst quote.
Jeff.
It's almost like you're in final 2, and we're not even halfway through this game.
Wow, Jeff.
God, so good.
Jeff is so vigilant, you guys. He really has his finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Of everything that's happening.
And then I just wrote fire making challenge because, like I said, this is a Survivor staple, and it's nice to have.
Yep.
And do you want to talk about what happens? Go ahead.
Well, Steph worked smarter and not harder, and she blew on the fire, which, for those of you who don't know how fires work, blowing on a fire does make it burn hotter.
True.
Because it adds more oxygen to the equation. And she beat him. She beat Bobby John because she knew how to play the fire to her favor. That's really it.
Yeah.
Because they all got the same sticks. They got the same matches and coconut shavings or some shit.
Whatever.
And it looked like Bobby John was going to win until Steph started blowing.
Bye, Bobby.
And I think this is fair. I think Steph should be the lone Oolong player.
Right.
Because she has done the best in the challenges and she has shown the most willingness to play the game.
I agree.
And
completely.
My only thing is, like, as the producers of the show, it's like you're having this poor woman live on this palau in a cave or whatever by herself.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Is crazy. That is crazy.
They gotta be about to merge, right? Can you imagine?
They
just one-on-one her.
I don't think they will.
And if she loses, they send her off.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are going to merge at this point. Cause what's the point?
Well, and then I have a final Jeff quote. You know, and that's the thing about my notes is I literally could have stopped it at the challenge, but Jeff had a really good closing quote that I felt was worth writing down.
What are these words of wisdom?
Bobby John, the tribe definitely did not speak tonight. Nonetheless, it's time for you to go.
Wow. So profound.
I mean,
so deep, Jeff.
The tribe didn't speak. He didn't give the tribe a chance to speak. It was fire make. No. Go home if you lose.
The fire has spoken.
Literally.
Sucks to suck, white boy.
Sucks to suck, white boy. Bye, Bobby John.
Get out of here. Go back to Alabama where you belong.
Literally. So yeah, so that's these two episodes of Survivor season 10, episodes 7 and 8. Who do you think's gonna win, Mike?
I would love Steph to win, like real underdog story,
That'd be fun.
but that's never gonna happen.
Well,
So I see the winner of Survivor season 10 as Ian.
Ian, really?
Yeah, I think Ian's gonna win.
Could be Ian. I'm gonna dark horse Greg.
Really?
I think he's gonna kick Jen to the curb.
Okay.
W.
Okay. Ooh, maybe Colby.
Really?
No, I'll stick with Ian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stick with Ian.
Well, needless to say, excellent, decent episodes. Not fantastic, not the best challenges. Okay challenges, not that great, but that's okay. I got a feeling we got some good immunity challenges coming when we're looking for solo immunity in the future here, but that's really all I got. You got anything?
No, that's it.
Well, thanks so much for tuning into Sofa Survivors, and can't wait to bring you guys some more juice in the future. I'm Tom Sofa.
And I'm Mike Tomato.
And thank you so much for tuning in. Talk soon, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.